Hi, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the full moon in Cancer. And the full moon in Cancer is going to be super mystical. It happens on January 13th, 2:26 in the afternoon for the West Coast here in the United States. So please adjust for your time. Cancer rules the fourth house, and the moon is of course, it rules the moon. This is about your intuition, your home and your family, your roots. It can be about the past, also about the public. And also what nurtures us, what makes us feel safe, and our emotional support system. So this Cancer full moon is going to help us leave something behind that no longer serves us. The sun is directly across in every full moon, and the sun is bringing its clarity and also a little bit of tug of war here. There's a natural opposition with the sun and the moon with the full moon, and so the sun is representing the divine masculine and the moon represents the divine feminine. So we have the yin and the yang available to us, but we have to know how to manage our feelings and really trust our intuition and trust our heart regarding the future. And so the full moon also tends to be about culminations, endings, and new beginnings. And this full moon also, the moon wants us to feel safe and nurtured. So there's something here that we want to leave behind that will leave us feeling safer or just maybe more emotionally balanced, right? And the moon is allied or conjunct, we say in astrology, combining forces with Mars. So this is saying that we have to be open and compassionate, but driven and have courage with Mars. The sun has joined forces with Pluto in a hidden conjunction, and the sun and Pluto are the sun and Pluto are both powerful. They are. Trusting our intuition and leaving behind the past, something that no longer serves us, will be very helpful during the 2-week transit of the full moon. So the Cancer moon is about the past, and the sun is about the future, or it's about the clarity for what we want to create for ourselves, right? The sun is ruling Leo, or Leo rules the sun. This is about what we want to create, how we want to lead our lives. And the sun is definitely providing clarity for what we want to create. The Sun-Pluto conjunction is telling us to be powerful and accept the truth so we can transform with the power of Pluto. So we can change. We can accept profound change if that is what is necessary. Pluto is in Aquarius, so this is asking us to face a truth so we can create a better future for ourselves. Mars is opposing Pluto, and that is very relevant to the full moon, which will cast its energy for the next 2 weeks. This lunar cycle is about our desires and to lead our lives toward what we really want to see come true for us. This is a very mystical full moon, as I have said, and the moon is in trine. This is an ease or a natural flow. There is one happening with the full moon and Neptune. Both are water signs concerned with intuition, compassion, and the spiritual realms. So Mars is 3 degrees away from the moon, and Mars is also in trine with Neptune. Yeah, very interesting. Neptune represents our intuition and the ideal thing that we want to create for ourselves. It's the dream we want to see come true, the fantasy, the most ideal. And if we are trusting our intuition and being compassionate in life, as the North Node is conjunct, it's formed an ally with Neptune, and Neptune is always about being compassionate. That is 2 degrees away from the North Node. The North Node is about our future and what we want to create for ourselves, where we're striving to go, which can be called fate and destiny. And this is really how we can shape-shift our destiny by being compassionate. And we can move toward what is really good for us by doing that, being compassionate toward ourselves and others in our lives. So let's talk about the 12 signs. And Aries, the intro is always for you. You are the first sign in the horoscope, so we're going to start here. And so this is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is always a little bit more relative, or relevant rather, to the rising sign, the ascendant, it just is. And then for the sun, that would be secondary. And then the moon is more about the mind and our feelings, right? Kind of our emotional mind. But I would say the moon would be the third, yeah. But let's see here, and let's see what we have for Aries. And so your ruling planet is in your fourth house, ruled by Cancer. So this is very relevant. You have the natural chart for you because you start with the first house, Aries, and anything else will be in the natural progression of the 12 signs. So this is very relevant for you. Mars, your ruling planet, is also in your fourth house, ruled by Cancer. So this is a conjunction between Mars and the moon at the time of the full moon. And I also have a video on the Mars-Pluto opposition. You can see, and you can see that below. If you just go to click on the avatar, you can check that out because that will be relevant for you. And let's see, the South Node is in your sixth house. The South Node is about what we need to leave behind, as is Cancer. So there's an opportunity for you to kind of leave something behind that may have to do with your daily routine, your lifestyle, or your obligations. It's in the sixth house of obligations, daily routine, health, and work. So it could be related to family matters as well. Mars is at 27 degrees, and the South Node is at the anaretic degree of 29 degrees. That means something's really ending. Something is really culminating with the anaretic degree. Very powerful. It is the last degree in any sign. You can let something go if you want now, Aries, and pay attention to your compassion or your feelings or the feelings of others. Yes, as Mars is in nurturing Cancer. Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer because Cancer is about the past, the public, and the mind. And Mars is a fire sign and Cancer is a water sign, so they don't really blend terribly. It's not a perfect blending. No, it's not. You can put fire out with water. So water and fire, yeah, it's not usually the best. It's going to depend on your chart, though, if you're thinking about your compatibility with your person, not just your two sun signs, right? But Mars doesn't really like to be in Cancer. It doesn't. And Mars is about new beginnings, right? The self and the physical, while Cancer is about the past and really kind of the home and a little bit of the collective. Yeah, we can call Cancer the collective, right? And so the opportunity, Aries, has to do with something in your 11th house. You have some type of opportunity showing up it's a sextile, showing up in your 11th house of the future. It's going to be easy for you to see that something either needs a total transformation or an ending. So let's talk about Taurus now. And Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac, so we are moving along here. But the full moon is happening in your third house with the opposition of the sun and the moon. You're also being influenced by the ninth house. The moon likes to be in Taurus. This is in its highest dignity, in exaltation. It's more powerful when it is exalted. And you're learning something, Taurus, or you have a higher perspective. There's tension between your outer and your inner world, perhaps, but you have the opportunity to see it from a higher perspective and make the necessary adjustments. There's a sesquiquadrate. This is a square and a half. There's tension here. It's 135 degree aspect. And so this is a discordant aspect that may create some type of stubborn tension, and it can linger until something's done. These squares often put tension on us to make us either wake up or make us kind of take action. And so your 10th house of career is highly influenced. This may be about your work, Taurus. It could be about perhaps related to leadership, a father or a father figure, or some type of leader in your life, right? We can talk about bosses sometimes as well. Venus, your ruling planet, is in your 11th house of the future, gains, and social networks. So it's in a sextile with Mercury in your 8th house. This is a money house, Taurus, also related to intimate relationships, as is Venus. And Saturn is in your 11th house, joining forces with Venus, and this is giving you self-discipline, more charisma, and grounding if you do the work. Venus represents self-care and your own self-expression or creativity. With the Venus-Mercury sextile, Taurus, you'll have the opportunity, but you'll have to be smart to possibly to see it, right? Because Mercury in Capricorn wants you to be smart, logical, and disciplined. So let's talk about Gemini now. And for Gemini, the full moon happens in your second house of money, possessions, values, and self-esteem. You may be able to clear up a misunderstanding, Gemini, or maybe improve your misunderstanding with somebody, or improve your communication with somebody. It could be a time for you to exchange ideas with someone. There could be a heightened awareness, or you're trusting your intuition to help you make decisions, or to help you with your communication in your life. You could be feeling a little emotional at the time of the full moon regarding your stability emotional, your emotional stability, or your financial stability perhaps. You might be feeling a little emotional about home, or perhaps where you live. The sun is in your 8th house of money, shared monies, and intimate relationships. Maybe you want to move, Gemini. This can have to do with you feeling free or liberated, and you may be having a lot of thoughts about career and how that has to do with your stability or your home and family. Your ruling planet Mercury is in your 8th house. So again, you may be thinking about career as it's in Capricorn. The sun here has something to do with your career, or possibly a father or a leader, a father figure. It could be about leading your own life, of course. Decisions about money, possibly earning your money, may be a theme for you, Gemini. And Mercury is sextiling Venus in your 10th house of career. So you have an opportunity. A sextile is an opportunity. You have an opportunity to either figure things out and move forward. Yeah, to figure things out. And you may have an opportunity to upgrade your lifestyle. Mercury also is in a sesquiquadrate, putting tension for change or innovating and closing something out. Uranus is in your 12th house of closure. And Uranus does represent change, surprise endings, and it is in your final house of closure and endings. So that would be interesting. So let's talk about Cancer, and the whole intro is for you. The moon is your ruling planet. And so the moon is in your 1st house of self. There's definitely something you're leaving behind, Cancer, and this has to do with you and your relationships. It may not be comfortable because Mars is conjunct the moon, and Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer, no. So Mars is actually lending its power to the moon, but it doesn't like to be in Cancer because Mars is about new beginnings. It's a fire sign. It's masculine sign, and so Mars is about new beginnings. Excuse me, and it's also about the self and kind of taking action and things like that. Cancer is a more nurturing sign. It's a feminine sign. It's about your intuition and your emotions, your family, things like that. So there's something you're seeing about your role in relationships, definitely, Cancer, because we also have the Mars is about the new beginnings, as I said, and the sun is directly across in your 7th house of relationships. There's something you see about your role in relationships, or relationships itself, possibly, and you know that there's always a balance between your drive and your career. Perhaps your emotions versus between your emotions and your home life. There's something you're completely getting that. And so the moon also is opposing Pluto in your 8th house of money, intimate relationships, and Pluto regards the past and transformation, and it's an Aquarius, which is about the future. So you know something has to profoundly end or change for something for the future, Cancer. Thank you so much. And let's get into Leo. And so for Leo, the moon is in your 12th house of closure and mystery. This is the house of Pisces, basically. And so there's something mysterious that is feeling very emotional for you. But your moon is not in the 12th house. I mean, it is in the 12th house, but it is being ruled by Cancer. There's something mysterious that is feeling emotional to you. the moon in your 12th, this is your 12th house where the moon sits, your intuition is probably very high. The sun, your ruling planet, is opposite the moon in your 6th house of daily responsibilities, work, and health. So you're seeing where you need to take action, Leo, possibly regarding work, as it's in Capricorn, representing ambition. You may be changing your daily routine. Maybe you have a new job, possibly. The sun opposes Mars as well. Whatever you're dealing with, you're being asked to understand the feelings of others, but not forsaking what it is that you want to create or achieve. And the sun is in trine with the South Node, which represents the past, making it easy for you to let go of something that is related to your values. Your self-esteem could be improving simply around an understanding of the past. So you have the courage to do this, Leo, and it may have to do with relationships or shared resources or real estate, possibly. And you may have learned that somebody's been keeping secrets, as the moon in the 12th of secrets, and Pluto is in your 7th house of partnerships. Pluto can also represent secrets. And so the sun is conjunct Pluto, and this is about you knowing what in your daily life or your work or something maybe regarding your health needs a revamping for the future. So let's talk about Virgo. And the full moon is in your 11th house of the future, social groups and innovation, Virgo. It's opposing your 5th house of love and self-expression, parenting, and recreational activities. The sun is at home in the 5th house. This is the natural house for the sun. And you may be leaving something behind, Virgo, so that you can garner a new future. Pluto is in your 6th house of daily obligations or daily routine, work, and health. This is your house flavored by Aquarius, which is all about the future. And so Mercury, your ruling planet, is also in your 5th house, helping you with clear thoughts and decisions if that is what is needed. There's an opportunity, or you've taken one perhaps, with regard to love or parenting. It may be bittersweet with Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury, your ruling planet, is also in a sesquiquadrate quadrant with Uranus. And so, this is about change. This is about knowing when change is really important, because this is a square and a half. It's a tense aspect, and it either has you taking action or at least understanding something very profound about yourself that is maybe bothering you. And it is about moving into the future, because that is what Uranus represents, and Uranus is the planet of surprises, endings, and this is creating tension with what you believe in or what transpires you. You might have learned what's truly meaningful to you, Virgo, or what you value, and this alone may be pushing you toward change. Now for Libra, and the full moon is happening in your 10th house of career, ambition, the father, your reputation, or legacy perhaps. So the 10th house discusses achievement through discipline. Now remember, the 10th house does represent work and career. It does, ambitions, but you may not be working. So sometimes it is about just the work you do, or maybe it's some type of society that you're in, or volunteer work, things like that. It can be just about how you kind of want to be seen in the world. So the 10th house discusses achievement through self-discipline. You're being asked, Libra, to balance the energies of your career and ambition and the energies of your family, your foundation, and your emotional security. So here we have between the 4th and the 10th houses. And so, and you have there's an opposition between the divine feminine as an archetype with the divine masculine. And these are what the 4th and the 10th house axis represents. It's always kind of a balance between home and family and work, or how you show up in the world, your career, or what you want to achieve. It can be seen as sometimes a merging of the mother and the father, or the divine feminine and the divine masculine in more common terms, right? All right, so your ruling planet Venus is in your 6th house of daily responsibilities, work, and health. It's in an uncomfortable position with the moon. There can be something going on that may feel dynamic yet stressful. And this may be key to you moving on and leaving certain obstacles behind. Venus represents both love and money and the good things in life. And the moon here is potentially making things appear a little bit more emotional. Venus also sextiles Mercury, which is in your fourth house of family and emotional support system in the past. So you might know what to do about this situation, yet something emotional is affecting, or something from the past can help you solve it. So it could be either or. Something could be affecting you emotional, and this is kind of, making it harder for you to deal with this. But the answer can come from the past, Libra. So let's talk about Scorpio now. And Scorpio, the full moon is in your 9th house of spirituality. So, we're having a full moon in a water sign. So this full moon will be relevant to you, Scorpio. And so your full moon is in your 9th house of spirituality, higher realms, and education, long distance, philosophy, travel, and expansion. So the sun in your 3rd house can have you very clear on something you believe in, and that can help you expand your world with the moon in your 9th. This can have to do with your family or a father figure, Scorpio, that is in your life. You could be a dad or a provider. Your ruling planet, Pluto, is in your 4th house of family, foundation, and emotional support system. So there is something related to the past or the family, or, at the very least, very emotional to you. And so the sun is conjunct Pluto, so you see what needs to be changed or transformed or let go of. You may have a lot of courage to do that as well, with the sun and the Pluto conjunction, joining forces together. And so, yeah, the moon is in its own home in full dignity, and your ancient ruler Mars is conjunct at 27 degrees of Cancer, while the moon is at 24 degrees. Mars may be pushing you to take action, to feel like you're living more enthusiastically or with more meaning. And so the moon is opposing Pluto. You could simply be feeling that the way you view family structure has changed, or it should, or how you, or your self-talk possibly, or self-management may be a little less emotional, helping you to move forward more powerfully. You might see that right now for yourself. This is what Scorpio likes. The 8th house, your house resonates with power, personal power. It does. And you might be moving as well, Scorpio. Okay, for Sagittarius, we have the full moon takes place in your 8th house of intimate relationships, sex, power, shared monies, or joint resources. This is the natural house of Scorpio. We were just talking about it. And this is also about your psychic ability. It can be about real estate, where the moon resides. So the sun is in your 2nd house of earned income, Sagittarius. It's in your house of values and possessions. The sun and the moon are directly opposing each other. So there's a need to merge the energies of both Capricorn, the sun in Capricorn, and the moon in Cancer. The sun is in a hidden conjunction with Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of the 8th house, where the moon is residing. You could be feeling change in how you earn your money, or your perspective about the way you earn your money. You may want change, or you could be looking at it in a different way. You may want more freedom and the power to decide how that should play out for you, and you may want to move, and you feel like a change is necessary. If you are angry with somebody, Sagittarius, you could be letting that go. There may be something hidden that is about the past, or something may be hidden deep in your psyche that you are understanding. It could have been unknown to you in the past. It may be related to family or a relationship. And how you value something is probably changing, Sagittarius. You could also be understanding on a very deep or psychological level, a psychic level, or an intuitive level, that something needs to go, or simply the way you look at it and you manage it. So for Capricorn, let's talk about the full moon for you. The full moon is in your 7th house of relationships, and the sun is in your 1st house of self. So there's an opposing quality between you, yourself, and your relationships, or how you are relating to others. It can be about family relationships. It can be about romantic or business partnerships. The moon is in your opposite sign, so you may be feeling the full moon, definitely. There's some type of push-pull here, although for some it may be subtle. Your ruling planet, Saturn, is in your third house of communication, the mind, family, more so siblings and extended family. You might feel you're dealing with a passive-aggressive energy around the full moon. It could be external to you, right? This can also be where we have Saturn in your third house. This can be about your neighborhood. Maybe you want to move. Maybe you want to kind of live in a different physical environment, a different town possibly. But the Sun is conjunct Pluto in your second house of earned income, resources, values, and your possessions. If there's something you feel driven about, or something related to your personal power, you could feel a total change on how you approach that. That is what you want to create, possibly related to your stability, financial or emotional, and related to what you feel that may be calling you to change. The Jupiter-Saturn square is relevant for you. I have a video on that. If you'd like to click on that, just click on the avatar and you'll see the video there. And that will be relevant for you because Saturn is your ruling planet. And so let's talk about Aquarius. And so for Aquarius, the moon is in your sixth house of responsibilities, daily routine, work, and health. This can be your lifestyle. Right? So the moon, is something emotional, but, the sixth house can be about your life as you know it. Sometimes the sixth house, if we have endings regarding the sixth house, it can talk about, I don't want that life anymore. I want a brand new life. Sometimes it does. The Sun is in your 12th house of closure. So it may be shining the light that you really want something to end around, or at least maybe be transformed, but around something that is related to what you do every day, or related to your obligations or your responsibility, or simply your daily routine. And the Sun is in your 12th house of closure, secrets, intuition, and personal undoing. You might want to let go or move on from something that you might feel that was hindering your own progress, Aquarius. You may feel it's more realistic for your own personal well-being. You might not want a certain job, or might want to leave that behind. Your health could be the reason too. Your ruling planet, Uranus, is in your fourth house of family, very much related to the Cancer full moon, Aquarius, and the moon is in sextile with Uranus. So there's an opportunity which may not last, Aquarius, as the moon moves quickly. There could be an exciting opportunity for change or an upgrade, or you want to improve something. Your intuition can help you make a decision. And Mars is conjunct the moon, adding its force. And this is sextiling Uranus, your planet, giving you drive and courage to either create this opportunity or to allow it. Your emotions can support you now if you're able to see what really needs to be put to the past. And lastly, but certainly not least, is Pisces. Okay, Pisces, this moon is going to be relevant for you because the full moon is in Cancer, another water sign. So you might be feeling emotional around the time of the full moon. And so this is in your fifth house of creativity, love, ego, and personal leadership, parenting, and family. The moon in Cancer is in another water sign, as I said, making a trine to your natal Neptune. So Neptune is in your first house of self. I would say this is powerful, yet it may seem emotional. It could. And this moon Neptune trine is making things easier for you, or seem more natural for you to move beyond something emotional. You're kind of looking at it like it's something emotional, but I feel like you are looking at it with maybe more courage, right? Maybe a little bit more realistic. It's possible. And it's about something that you might have thought was ideal. Maybe you're not thinking or feeling that same thing is so ideal now in hindsight. Your level of intuition and consciousness is high at the time of the full moon, and the Sun is in your 11th house of the future. The Sun is shining on your future It sure is, Pisces, and this is bringing you a level of clarity about your future. In the very least, it's making you feel more optimistic. The sun sextiles your natal Neptune. Remember that sextiles offer opportunities, creating one connected to your future, your hopes, and your wishes, and gains, personal gains. That sextile will be there for about a week. The sun is in your 11th house, Pisces, of the future, and that will trine the north node, the south node, basically, in your 7th house of relationships. So the south node is about the past as well. You're going to be able to see that an old way of looking at relationships or how you show up in them should be let go in order to have a brighter future or a more powerful future. Mercury is ruling your 7th house, so this is definitely about being smart and practical. And thank you for watching, Pisces, liking and sharing, and to all the other 11 signs. If you would like your own astrology reading, just click on the calendar below or send me an email. Everything is below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you would like a psychic reading, you sure can get one of those. All my services are below. I'm also a certified past life regression reader. Those are really powerful, honestly, to help you leave behind things that are kind of holding us back, right? Sometimes we're not aware of them either. The South Node representing the past. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here. And please hit the little bell in order to receive all my notifications. Have a great year. We're starting the year out, I would say, very well with Pluto in Aquarius. Thanks so much.